College Simonian Alumni Stadium this afternoon to celebrate one of life's major events, graduating from high school. I'm particularly happy to have the principals from the other Chelmsford schools with us, as well as past CHS principals and members of our distinguished faculty. Before I continue with my remarks, I would like to explain that some of our graduates are not here with us today because of conflicts that arose due to the postponement of the ceremony, and that all of the graduates listed in your program will receive Chelmsford High School diplomas. There's a tendency in parts of our society to downplay the importance of this event. There's a tendency to look past it to college and perhaps graduate school or advanced technical training or military service or entering the workplace. Some would say it's not a big deal. I say it is a big deal. Graduating isn't as easy as you might assume. In the United States, only 68.3% of entering freshmen graduate in 4 years. In Massachusetts, 74% graduate in 4 years, but in Louisiana, only 59.2%, in Alabama, 57.2%, in Florida, 55.2%, and in South Carolina, 49.2%, or less than half the graduates get through in 4 years. So graduating from high school is not as easy as some think. Graduating from high school is also important because it pays. According to the National Center for Educational Statistics, the median annual income for a household headed by a high school dropout is $18,000. The annual median income for a household headed by a high school graduate is $28,700. For 40 years' work, the dropout earns $720,000. The high school grad makes $1,148,000. Your diploma today, on average, increased your estimated lifetime income by over $400,000. Don't spend it all at one time. Graduation from high school is sometimes seen as a death experience. You may never again see many of the people with whom you have spent 13 or some part of 13 years. It's a somewhat abrupt and often upsetting end that comes with graduation. Also, graduation often marks a significant change in your relationship with your parents. Some of you will leave home and become independent and face all the challenges of being on your own. Some of you will stay at home, but will be expected to pay moving forward. But after today, your relationship with your parents will start to be very different. Some of your classmates have been so upset by the prospect of these significant changes that they purposely failed so they could stay a few more months or another year at Chelmsford High School in a world that they know is safe and secure. When Deans Battle, Doherty, and O'Brien, and Athletic Director Fletcher and I visited McCarthy, Murdoch, and Parker 4 years ago to tell you about the opportunities that would be available to you at Chelmsford High School, we stressed that the time would go very fast. Graduating in 4 years seemed so far into the future that it was hard for you to comprehend. Now you know that we knew what we were talking about. The time has quickly passed, and you are moving on. We also advise you to get involved because research shows that there is a direct correlation between involvement at school and academic success. Most of you did just that. You became involved, and your involvement brought success to our school and to you as individuals. For example, as athletes, you won Merrimack Valley Conference, North Sectional and State Championships. You set school records and were selected to the NBC, Lowell Sun, Boston Herald, and Globe All-Star and All-Scholastic teams. As actors and members of the Theater Guild, you put on a wide variety of productions, including The Foreigner, Wanted, and Hamlet, and wowed the audiences. On a recent trip to New York, you significantly impressed the casting director so that he was convinced that you came from a school for the performing arts. when joined by singers, dancers, and musicians who put on musicals that amazed all lucky enough to see them. This year's production of Beauty and the Beast brought rave reviews. As musicians who put on a variety of outstanding concerts and won recognition as performing groups and again as individuals. I'm excited for all of our students involved with the performing arts because next spring we will open a new 1,000-seat auditorium and provide you with a performance center worthy of your talent. Our artists continue to win Boston Globe Scholastic Art recognition, and we continue to send highly qualified students to all of the major art schools. Our calculus team finished 9th in a field of 163 top high schools from across the nation, and 2nd in Region 1, the most competitive region in the nation. Our mock trial team is one of the best in Eastern Massachusetts, was state champion just a few years ago. The International Relations Club participates with distinction in a variety of conferences that focus on international diplomacy. The Asian Culture Club capped off a busy year with a variety show that raised money for an orphanage. In fact, our school raises thousands and thousands of dollars in addition to collecting food and clothing for a wide variety of charities. Some groups engaged in these activities include Student Council, the Reality Check Class, the Red Cross Club, the various honor societies, and the Thomas Jefferson Forum. And our publications are excellent. The 2006 yearbook, The Lion, is certainly one of the best that any of us have ever seen. As your principal, I am proud of what you have accomplished and how you have done it. Your parents, friends, and community should be proud of you also. On my February vacation, I met a lot of adults who felt sorry for me when I told them I was a public high school principal. Their view of young men and women in public education was very negative. In fact, one woman repeatedly referred to young people like yourselves as heathens. What? America, you need to stop putting down the youth of our country. Young people face a lot of challenges. They are, like the generations that have preceded them, trying to figure out who they really are and where they really want to go. As a nation, we must support and cultivate this great human resource and not put it down or fail to support it. The members of Chelmsford High School's class of 2006 try to go fast to get ready. The graduation ceremony does mark a major turning point in your life, and it therefore should be properly celebrated, and we've celebrated all week. You came to Chelmsford High School and achieved great things in the classrooms, on the stage, in concerts, on the playing fields, and in a variety of other settings. Thank you for what you have done for our school. I wish you the very best as you go on to the next phases of your lives. As you do so, please prove to those who call you heathens that they are wrong. And later, please be good parents and community members who support the next generation of young Americans. The class of 2006 is a great class, and the young men and women are wonderful people. And Chelmsford High School is a great high school. Congratulations and best of luck. I'm now going to depart from the program for 10 seconds to say, Matthew David, our thoughts are with you. It is now my pleasure to introduce Tina Giumani, who will introduce our salutatorian. Tina, please come to the podium. Thank you.
to introduce your class salutatorian, Shilpa Wukong. I've known Shilpa for 8 years, and in my eyes, that's a really long time. Over the years, we've grown up together, and I've watched her bloom from a cute little girl into a beautiful young woman. She has changed a lot, gotten a little taller, just a little, and a lot smarter. But a couple things haven't changed. She's just as kind and generous as she was the first day that I met her, and just as sweet and friendly as the first day that I met her in 4th grade. Shilpa is one of those rare people that you meet in life that you want to be jealous of because you might think she's perfect. But you really can't, because not only is she smart and pretty, but she's also sweet and generous. I remember this one time when we were maybe about 10 years old, and we were playing out in the woods in a creek near our house. And we wanted to build a bridge over the creek and walk over it, which when I think back now was probably not a good idea. Anyway, things were going well when suddenly I accidentally stepped in the water. My sneakers and socks were completely soaked. But Shilpa, being the nice girl that she is, lent me her socks so that my mom wouldn't find out and I wouldn't get in trouble. But somehow, my mom found out anyways. I wasn't allowed to go out into the woods for a while, but just like in my story, Shilpa was always someone you can count on. I'm gonna miss you, Shilpa. Good luck at Brandeis. You make me proud. So without further ado, I give you your class salutatorian, Shilpa Wukong.
Thank you for the introduction, Tina. In the 4 years the class of 2006 has spent at Chelmsford High School, there have been countless changes. Our freshman year, we found a new, excellent principal in Mr. Thomas. Our sophomore year, we struggled with the need for new security, as out-of-the-classroom breaks were eliminated and lockdowns were practiced. Our junior year, we proved our mental endurance during the first new SAT, a grueling 5-hour exam complete with an essay. Our senior year, we witnessed perhaps the largest and best change at Chelmsford High School, the construction of a new auditorium. This construction has defined our final year at CHS and promises a great future for our high school. At first, we believed that the construction would actually take place. Yes, the town had approved the plan, but actual construction, that would probably wait a few years before starting. Soon, however, with the display of blueprints in the library and a timetable of the construction, the plans became a reality. We watched and some pride as the path from the back parking lot to the athletic fields was paved to serve as a construction road. After the back parking lot was fenced off, we parked our cars on the gravel-covered traffic island, which would serve as temporary parking. When a big snowstorm buried cars in this gravel lot, classmates lent each other shovels, and teachers helped push out the cars that could not move. Before long, we learned that the construction timetable would not always suit us. When boxes on the first floor had to be moved around the final exam period, our science finals could not be taken in our regular classrooms. So for these science exams, we sat together in the lecture hall, skillfully balancing our calculators on one knee and our formula sheets on the other knee. Soon, it was not just our finals, but our entire classes that were moved into new portable classrooms. Labs and demonstrations that would have been done could not be done, as equipment was put in long-term storage. Yet somehow, determined classmates and teachers found us the slinkies and mirrors we needed, and we learned about waves and reflection through wonderful demonstrations. During our school days, fire alarms frequently went off, triggered by the construction. In frigid temperatures, we huddled together and learned always to carry extra clothing. or a fall play, we can tell everyone that we, the class of 2006, saw this auditorium's construction. Our challenges through the last 4 years have prepared us to face challenges in the future. We have learned not to be afraid of change, to face hardships courageously, and to help one another in times of need. We have bonded through our challenges, and I hope these bonds will last forever. Through the past 12 years in Chelmsford, I have met some of the nicest people I will ever meet. I would like to thank Mr. Thomas, the deans, the teachers, and all my classmates at Chelmsford High School for making this such a rewarding experience. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2006.
It's now my pleasure to invite to the podium President of the Class of 2006, Kate Knowles.
Principal Thomas, as our gift to the school, the class of 2006 will be purchasing a new sign for the front doorway to the high school. MEH. While the origin of the word meth is unknown, its coining is attributed to yellow cartoon daughter Lisa in a 1993 episode of The Simpsons. A few days ago, when my mom inquired about the status of my graduation commitments, I offhandedly responded with the term. It's a multi-purpose expression, the verbalized shoulder shrug, a less West Coast alternative to convey disinterest, as in whatever. What's funny is that for as often as we say meth, perhaps to excuse an imperfection or mask a difficult task, as a class we do not live up to the spirit of this word. This class has challenged, played, competed, performed, and volunteered with purpose, spirit, and determination. The point is in the goals we set. The point is in the effort. We are leaving Chelmsford High School with an unforgettable class of 2006. We are meant to persevere and achieve. We are meant to better the world. In addition to our very beautiful class song, I would like to leave meth behind at CHS. We will rise above meth to embrace a life of enthusiasm. I'd like to thank Mr. Thomas, the teachers, deans, guidance counselors, and especially parents for giving us the tools and knowledge to live life passionately. Thank you for this opportunity, and thank you for being an amazing class. Would Timothy Bernard please come up to the stage? It is my pleasure to present the class president for 2007, Timothy Bernard, with this gavel. In its earliest stages of student government, your class has shown its school spirit, unity, and dedication. On behalf of the class of 2006, best wishes to you and your class. You are sure to have an outstanding senior year. Thanks.
Thank you, Kate, and thank you to the class of 2006 for passing on the gavel to me as the incoming president of the class of 2007. We hope our class is as successful as you have been throughout your senior year. You have continued the great traditions of Chelmsford High. Please know that we will follow your lead and pass those cherished traditions on to the next class with all the enthusiasm and dedication you have shown. Good luck to all of you in the future. Thank you.
It is now my pleasure to invite to the podium Superintendent of Schools, Dr. Richard H. Mosier.
Thank you very much. I would like to just very briefly offer my personal congratulations to this class. So far, many positive things have been said about your work here in Chelmsford from kindergarten right on through your graduation. Everything that's been said is absolutely true. You're a wonderful group of young men and women, and for our faculty, for our school committee, and for our administration, we certainly wish you the very best. It's my pleasure each year. My role in graduation is to introduce the guest speaker. I enjoy doing this because each year we bring speaker after speaker that has very positive things to say about the world beyond high school. This year is no different. We have an outstanding speaker. His name is Mr. Robert Sullivan. Mr. Sullivan is a 1971 graduate of Chelmsford High School and a 2002 inductee into the Chelmsford Hall of Fame. Between high school graduation and the Hall of Fame, Mr. Sullivan has had a career that can be characterized as scholarly, high achievement, and enormous contribution. After leaving Chelmsford High School, he went to Dartmouth College and graduated in 1965 cum laude. He immediately went on to Boston College and received a master's degree in journalism and began his work career in 1980 with what I would label as the dream job, working with Sports Illustrated. He covered stories on tennis, football, and a host of other sports. He's responsible for writing about groundbreaking investigations. You may remember reading about the use of cocaine in the NFL years ago, point shaving at Boston College, gambling by Pete Rose, and many other stories that were of great interest to Sports Illustrated readers. 1993, Mr. Sullivan began his a career working with Time Life Incorporated. During his tenure, he covered many different topics, religion, nature, education, sports coverage, and many others. He profiled such people as Pope John Paul II, Tony Bennett, Steven Spielberg, and many other individuals. In 1997, he won the President's Award from Time Incorporated for his article on heroism. While associated with Time Incorporated, he was actually his job was Deputy Managing Editor of Life and Director of Life Books. He's edited dozens of books, one in particular, One Nation, America Remembers September 11th, 2001. He also authored several books himself, Our Red Sox, A Story of Family and Friends at Fenway, Flight of the Reindeer, A True Story of Santa Claus and His Christmas Mission, Atlantis Rising, the true story of the submerged land yesterday and today. Mr. Sullivan's work has appeared in the New York Times and New England Monthly, Yankee Traveler and Leisure, Reader's Digest, and many other journals. Along the way, he has won many honors. He won the John Bartlow Award for Public Interest Magazine Journalism, and he has twice won the Wilbur Award for his writing on religion. He's been a guest commentator on The Today Show, NBC, ABC's Good Morning America, Imus in the Morning, Dateline, CNN, ESPN, O'Reilly Factor, Hardball, National Public Radio, and BBC. He's had an outstanding career, and he serves as a model for what everybody here should strive to do when you leave Chelmsford High School. He currently lives in Westchester County with his wife and his 3 children. Please help me welcome Mr. Robert Sullivan.
Thank you very much. I would have liked to interrupt that around halfway through, but thanks. That's very kind. What can I possibly tell you for sure that I know for sure? I can tell you you'll all be wearing these one day. That's one thing for certain. But what can I possibly offer you besides a heartfelt congratulations, besides earnest felicitations, beyond a thank you for inviting me to share your great day with you? I can't pretend to know your music, your tastes, even the context of your dreams and desires. My 3 kids are 8 and under, so I could tell you about the Wiggles, or Jimmy Neutron, Dan Zanes, SpongeBob, or even, yeah, he trickles up, or even High School Musical, or I could talk Beatles, Stones, The Who, Dylan, which they trickle up too, huh? Comprised the universal language when I was at Chelmsford High. What's one thing I could tell them, I thought to myself, that I know for sure? I settled on this. You'll go out from this football field in 411 different directions, and Chelmsford will go with you. Your friends will go with you, whether in fact or in spirit. The teachers, even the one who smacked you in the head with an eraser, as happened to me in 11th grade French class, and probably for sound reason, will go with you, like it or not. It's a part of who you are now and forever, the community of Chelmsford, the community of Chelmsford High. It'll come back over and over again, the community of Chelmsford, and most often, you'll be glad when it does. There's a street in this town over there. It's called School Street, and it's an anomaly because there's no school on it. There used to be, though. You students have had no experience with a bygone institution called Quessy School. It was an old 4-room, high-ceilinged, white-clapboard building on School Street that hadn't been used in decades. But when my baby boomer generation started growing up in Chelmsford, a couple of these antique schools, Quessy near us, Highland over in North Chelmsford, were pried open, shellacked, and put back online for a few years to handle the crowds of kids coming through. Gym class in the winter was in the cellar, us 5th and 6th graders squeezing in around the big oil-burning boiler and doing our exercises. I loved that school. I was in Mr. Todd's 5th grade class at Quessy School when the announcement was made that President Kennedy had been killed. It was an early where were you when moment of my life, and it came roaring back to me on September 11, 2001 in New York City when the planes went into the towers. Over the next several weeks, I was working on that book you heard about, and weirdly, that crackling moment in Mr. Todd's classroom when he tried to explain to us the importance of enormous events, the importance of thinking about them, even as the school buses rolled onto the dirt field out back of Quessy to take us home early, kept coming back to me. And I also thought back to being at North School, which is now the senior center over by Crystal Lake, even earlier, 2nd grade, maybe 3rd, and having to go out into the hall and put our heads between our knees for the bomb raid drills during the Cuban Missile Crisis. I wondered as I considered the falling towers whether we were entering another time like that, and I guess maybe we were. Where were you? Where in Chelmsford were you on September 11th? It's part of you forever. In Mrs. Schrock's civics class in 9th grade, we took out a group subscription to Time magazine and used Time in weekly discussions. I think the special deal was 6 cents an issue. My family all started to enjoy the magazine, and conversation about the news seeped into our home. This would have been about 1968, so there was plenty to talk about. A war, a divided country, whether the Red Sox could repeat. Not unlike today, I guess. Time magazine got me wondering about journalism, and within a few years, once I decided to try that path, the dream became to write a cover story one day for Time, and I've been lucky enough to get the chance. But I think sometimes if Newsweek had been offering Mrs. Schrock's class a nickel a copy deal, would things have been different? Who knows? And a postscript here, my mom's subscription to Time today, still coming to Berkeley Drive in Chelmsford every Monday, is that same one from 38 years ago. After I busted my knee in football practice junior year, Ed Krasnecki, publisher of the late and possibly lamented Chelmsford News Weekly, offered to pay me 15 cents a word to cover the games from the sidelines. When you're 16 years old and see the prospect of 15 cents for each and every word, long or short, you try to use a lot of words. So I wrote these tomes, long, ponderous tomes, about Chelmsford versus Tewksbury, Chelmsford v. Andover. My Thanksgiving Day take on the Billerica game read like War and Peace, without, of course, the drama and eloquence, just the length. Anyway, years later, when my first editors at Sports Illustrated critiqued my verbose writing style and urged me to write leaner, more concise articles, I smiled inwardly and blamed it all on Chelmsford. In the spring of 1971, my senior year, a bunch of us from the school newspaper, which was then called the Paper Lion, wanted to do something to thank our advisor, Miss Cusick, Judy Cusick of the English department. We found out that her favorite singer was Tony Bennett, and we found out further that Tony was playing a nightclub called Caesar's Palace down on Route 9 in Framingham. I'm sure it can't possibly be there any longer. So we reserved tickets, and 4 or 5 of us took Miss Cusick to see Tony Bennett. We drank ginger ale, she drank wine, and each of the guys danced a number or two with Miss Cusick. During I Left My Heart in San Francisco, Tony had a slideshow play on the wall behind him, and I thought, even as a 17-year-old, I thought, well, that's pretty tacky. But I remember thinking also that Bennett was a much better singer than I'd given him credit for. I told that story a few years ago to Tony Bennett. We were sitting in a fancy dining room at the Metropolitan Museum of Art, and I was interviewing him for Profile for Life, and I told him the whole thing, even that I thought the slides were a bit cheesy. Well, Tony said, it was 1971. It was a cheesy time. And then he said, you ever see Miss Judy Cusick anymore? No, I said. Too bad, said Bennett. If you ever see her back there, where is it, Chelmsford? Tell her Tony says hi. And thanks for listening to the music. There's a Judy Cusick in a lot of the lives represented in the students sitting here. That I know for sure. She was the teacher who made the difference for me, or started me thinking that maybe I could write. She was tremendously and unrelentingly encouraging. Haven't seen her since graduation, but she has gone with me. Chelmsford goes with you. Many of you have your Judy Cusicks and your Kevins, Gales, Mikes, Bruces, and Barrys as well. They will go with you. Kevin's my brother, Gale's my sister. Mike, Bruce, and Barry were my best friends at Chelmsford High and are my best friends still. You'll find this out shortly. When we road tripped to see one another in college, we knew the bonds would last forever, and they have. There have been the weddings, of course, and these days, the wakes. There have been times of celebration and of trial, and we're always there for one another, no matter where we are. Barry and I live away now, but Kevin's still in Chelmsford, Gale's down in Wellesley, and Bruce and Mike each live with their lovely wives over in Williamsburg in North Chelmsford. Just a few weeks ago, with the river rising, I got in touch with Bruce and Mike to see how Williamsburg was doing, and Bruce emailed me back saying they'd relocated to the Sheraton up in Nashua. Never seen anything like it in Chelmsford, he said in that email, and I immediately thought back to a quirky tornado that blew through Vinyl Square when we were in high school, and I never figured I'd think of that tornado again, and you never know. The community of Chelmsford, it will keep coming back, not always in welcome ways. Mike, Bruce, Barry, and I played sports at Chelmsford High with 3 different guys, each of whom turned out to be, yes, a murderer, or an accused murderer. One has yet to stand trial up in New Hampshire. The guy in New Hampshire I knew fairly well, captain of the football team, tough as nails guard and linebacker. When he was working the ticket booth, he used to sneak us into his parents' drive-in theater up in Tingsboro, so yes, I knew him pretty well. Another of the 3 I knew well too. He was a year behind me, also on the football team, and for a while the school paper. He was smart, a golden boy, a straight arrow. So you never know. As you sit here on this wonderful day, you cannot know. You hope, you dream, but... And then later, when you hear of such things, you return to Chelmsford in your mind and you call your friends and say, geez, what's going on? You wonder about fate and what it takes to do good. You hope you have it. After that 3rd one, I started to think about high school football and football heroes and heroes generally, and a bunch of the stories I'd done for Sports Illustrated about steroids and cheating and fallen heroes and all that. I thought back to before I reached Chelmsford High, when I would go with my friends to the football games on Saturday afternoons at the old high school field. Chelmsford had a real star at that time, a big kid named Arnie Holtberg. Quarterback, kicker, he did it all. Went to Princeton. I never met Arnie Holtberg, but as he was from Chelmsford, I would follow his career and would be proud of him. He was named All-America as a baseball catcher one year. So now, with this 3rd bad case, I Googled the name Arnie Holtberg along with Chelmsford, just wondering about him in a hopeful way, and I found out that he went on to become, and still is, a well-respected headmaster of a prestigious school in Texas. I also learned that he had inspired a scholarship at his alma mater, Chelmsford High. One of you, in fact, Ms. Hara Colomb, is this year's Arnold E. Holtberg Scholar. Arnie Holtberg, a hero back then to kids such as me, apparently a hero still, as you will be, you and we hope. The community of Chelmsford will expand to you as you travel through life. A couple of years ago, I got to know in a handshake fashion John Harrington, who owns the liquor store over behind Marshall's. My twins love the toy Christmas trains that go round and round at Harrington's. We come to see them when we visit family at the holidays. I got to know John to say hi to, and I got to know a little bit about him. He was several years before me at Chelmsford High and was performing with great valor in Vietnam. Real dangerous stuff, the very roughest. even as I, a know-it-all teenager, knowing everything for a certainty, was writing anti-Vietnam War editorials for the paper Lion. I felt bad about that all these years later when I got to know John Harrington. The community of Chelmsford will sneak up on you. I published that Christmas book about 10 years ago, and in the introduction I wrote, I grew up in New England in a time when our countryside filled with snow each winter, when the gold and red of autumn always yielded to an ice blue frosted window tableau. The snow would be ankle deep, then knee deep, then hip deep, ever deeper, deeper, deeper. It doesn't snow like that anymore, not most years. I loved the winter and I loved snow. I was an all-afternoon sledder as a kid, shushing the hillsides and back of our house until each evening's sun had set. Then I would trudge home with my trailing sled, heading for the yellow warmth of the distant kitchen. In the finger-aching cold of 5 o'clock, I felt most alive. My mind would race, and I found myself wondering about all sorts of things. So that's what I wrote. And so I was at a book signing in 1996 in Manchester, and a fellow who must have known where I was from comes up with a copy of the book after the reading, and he says, "The sledding scene, was that Chelmsford?" Well, I said, "I guess it was. It was like that for me too," he said. "I'm from Chelmsford." And then he was gone. I never got his name, and I never saw him again. Chelmsford always comes circling back around. The community of Chelmsford can, at turns in the road, visit in even magical ways. I was at a holiday brunch party in Lexington about 25 years ago, thrown by a fellow CHS alum. So I got some food, and I was standing there trying to watch a late-season Patriots-Dolphins game on TV when I was approached by a young woman who, in a friendly way, started to chat. I wasn't at all happy about this. It was a pretty consequential football game. But I was as polite as possible. It turned out she had gone to Chelmsford High, too, a few years after me. It turned out that she, too, had just landed in New York City, where she was taking her shot in banking, as I was in journalism. Maybe we can share rides home during the holidays, one of us thought aloud. I tried to get back to the football game, but she was very nice, and a quarter of a century later, Lucy Rossi of Chelmsford High School and I live in Westchester County with our 3 kids who will not be part of the community of Chelmsford, but will find their own community to help them along, to nurture and support them, to go with them. That's the thing, and that's what we're here for today, the going. I remember as if it were yesterday, the evening after the college acceptance came in the mail. At dusk, I walked down to this sand pit nearby where they were carving roads for a new development. Chelmsford was growing fast, and houses were sprouting everywhere. I sat on top of a pile of dirt and thought about the leaving, the going. My college wouldn't be far away, but it wasn't right nearby either. I thought about the going. As it turned out, I'd never live in Chelmsford again, but what I didn't consider at that time was this: I'll never, ever leave Chelmsford. You see, Thomas Wolfe notwithstanding, it's not about whether you can or can't go home again. It's about home going with you. Sitting in that sand pit, looking at these violently churned up fields where dozens of new houses would soon rise, I wasn't thinking about the permanence of the past. I was thinking only about the future that waited to be fashioned, thinking about the great unseeable prospect. The notion never occurred to me that I would be taking something lasting and invaluable with me, never to be lost, the community of Chelmsford. So, go now and do Chelmsford proud. We're proud of you already, and we all of us here, go with you. Thank you.
Mr. Sullivan, would you please return to the podium? It's my pleasure, on behalf of the class of 2006, to make you an honorary member of their wonderful group.
Thank you very much. Proud to be with you.
It is now my pleasure to invite Elizabeth Pisaric to the podium to introduce our valedictorian.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Elizabeth Pisaric, and I'm here to introduce Sarah Kolba. I have been friends with Sarah since first grade, where we met in Mrs. Murphy's class at South Row School. Then, most of our carefree days were spent on South Row School's playground or playing Barbies over each other's houses. Through the years, we upgraded from Barbies to bead buddies to badminton games in her yard. In high school, despite differences in our extracurricular pursuits, we remained classmates and good friends. While most people would agree that Sarah deserves the honor of addressing you all today because of her significant academic accomplishments and her overseeing production of our yearbook, I believe there is yet another reason. The main thing I've always respected about Sarah is her strength of character. Sarah's accomplishments are many, but it is her determination to forge her own path that sets her apart. Sarah is not content to live up to other people's expectations of what she should do or be. She works hard to meet her own expectations, which, not surprisingly, are set incredibly high. It's been great to have friends like Sarah who want to excel in all they do. That kind of dedication has a way of inspiring others to do the same. And so, it is an honor and a privilege to introduce to you my good friend, your Female Student of the Year, and the 2006 Chelmsford High School valedictorian, Sarah Kolba.
Thank you, Elizabeth. Class of 2006. Today is one of the most momentous days of our lives so far. Each of us has devoted 13 years and countless hours of work to reaching this point. We have struggled, laughed, made mistakes, and learned both in and out of the classroom. Our presence here today marks our success. Yet today is not only a testament to what we have already achieved. It is a crossroads in all of our lives. The past 13 years have formed one stage of our life's journey. From our first hesitant steps into the kindergarten classroom to our impending walk across the stage, we have shared experiences and created unforgettable memories. Today is the day to look back on our journey so far and to look ahead to what life has in store for us. As we look back, it is important for us to remember to cherish the friendships and the memories we have created during these years. We can never repeat these 4 years of high school, for better or for worse. Remember them. Remember your personal triumphs, your joys, your friendships. It may seem like they aren't all that special at the moment, or you may think that you would rather just start over in the fall and forget the last 4 years. Don't. Don't allow yourself to have a gaping hole in your memories of your journey. Think back on the last 4 years. Some things might stick out more than the rest. Getting your license in your first car, birthdays, junior cotillion, and prom. Now go past those memories and think about what else has happened during these 4 years. Barbara Kingsolver once said, "It's surprising how much of memory is built around things unnoticed at the time." Take the time now to notice the small moments. Remember all those nights just spent hanging out with your best friends? Remember all those inside jokes? It may seem like you will always be friends, and maybe you will. Either way, remember them. These friends were the people who helped shape your high school years. Now look past your closest circle of friends and think about the other people you have known. Look around at all of the faces sitting with you here today. These are the faces that most of you have been around since the age of 5. Some are familiar, others you may not even recognize. Some are close friends, others distant acquaintances. Yet all of them have impacted your high school career. Make an effort to remember them and the moments of laughter which they have brought to you, even if you didn't know them well. But today is not only about looking back at our journey so far, it is also about facing our future. Everyone here will be heading in a new direction this fall. We are heading across the country to work, college, and the military. Some here already have a definite idea of their future careers and are setting out to pursue them. Others are still unsure of what they want to do. I want to encourage all of you, whether you think you know what you want or whether you are undecided, to follow your passion. There are so many options available to you. Don't allow anything to block you from finding what is best for you. This is your journey, not your parents or your teachers or your friends. Only you know what truly makes you happy. Explore all of your options. Find your talents and the things that make you excited. There are enough drones in the world who hate their job. Don't let yourself become another one. When pursuing your passion, dream big, and don't let self-doubt tell you that you cannot achieve your goal. It may take hard work and a large amount of perseverance, but that shouldn't block you from what will make you happy. Barbara Shar said, "The first step is to find out what you love, and don't be practical about it. The second step is to start doing what you love immediately, in any small way possible." Imagine the happiness in the world if everyone followed this advice, instead of settling for something else. Each of us here had something we were passionate about during high school, whether it was athletics, music, theater, or student government. We have all experienced the satisfaction of dedicating a great deal of time and effort to something which we love. Remember this in your future. It doesn't matter what it is, just that there is something in your life which you deeply care about. As we receive our diplomas today, I ask that all of you remember to both look back at this completed stage of your journey and look forward to what lies ahead. Cherish the memories of the people you have known and the moments you have experienced so far. For now, the time has come for our paths to diverge. Today marks the end of this stage of our journey and the beginning of the next. It is time for each of us to pack our bags, take one last look, and then make our way into the world. I trust that each of us will find our own unique path on which to continue our journey. I wish you all success in the future. Thank you and congratulations.
It is now my pleasure to introduce Mr. Kevin Porter, Chairman of the Chelmsford School Committee. Mr. Porter.
Chelmsford High School, class of 2006. On behalf of the Chelmsford School Committee, I congratulate you on graduating today, Sunday, June 4th, 2006. Today, you take with you accomplishments that no person can ever take away from you. You have grown through 13 years of schooling, working with your parents, friends, and teachers to reach this day. I am sure that each of you has many stories about disappointments that you have faced and triumphs that you have savored along the way. These memories will guide you through the many actions that you have in the future as you make your mark in the world. You have earned these accomplishments on your own and with the guidance of your parents, teachers, and friends. Cherish them, but also build upon them. Move on to the next accomplishment by remembering that the principle is to compete against yourself. It's not about improving over someone else, it's about self-improvement, about being better than you were the day before. I view the accomplishments you have earned in 3 groups. As you remember the 4 years of Chelmsford school system and the years before that, commit to memory these 3 groups of accomplishments. First, you have competitive knowledge. You have reached the first step in your career ladder, and you are now able to earn an average of 40% more than others without a high school degree. You're also able to have a 60% greater chance of being employed than those without a high school diploma. Both Chelmsford and the state of Massachusetts have set a high level of expectations for your educational achievement, and you have met those expectations. You can and will compete with the best and the brightest in the world, and you will use the quality education you have received here in Chelmsford to improve our world. Second, you have a holistic education to enable you to succeed in the global society in a responsible manner. The world is at your fingertips, and you have the knowledge to work and play in the global society. You will be successful with your worldwide perspective and skills. You will also have been taught how to use these skills in a responsible manner and to be ethical in all of your business and social activities and decision making. Your education includes your understanding of the core and the elective academic subjects, your understanding of your athletic skills, and an appreciation for the fine arts. This holistic education will bring diversity, enjoyment throughout your life. Keep your lifelong education holistic, and you will never find life to be mundane or lifeless. Third, you have been taught to be students for life. Today is not the completion of your education, but a stepping stone to the next subjects you will learn about. There is no end to learning and using that knowledge to grow throughout your whole lifetime. Life is a journey and a quest for additional knowledge. Status quo is not acceptable. You must continue to learn daily and use that knowledge to better the world. Only through your understanding that learning is perpetual and that you are all students throughout your life, learning more and more each day, will you be able to make the mark on this world. As you receive your diploma today, look at your yearbook for years to come, read about the Chelmsford High School in the newspapers, wear your school clothing, or whenever you receive a letter from your Chelmsford Alumni Association, you will be reminded of these accomplishments you are being recognized for today. C, competitive knowledge. H, holistic education. S, student for life. I charge you now with making the most of these accomplishments embroidered into your personal fabric of life and to remembered as CHS. Good luck as you take on your next challenges, and always remember Chelmsford High School.
Mr. Battle, where does this go?
Kevin, you're going to be handing out the diplomas, so Cindy will be giving them to you, all right?
Kara Elizabeth Baraldi. Caitlin Amelia Baumer. Kelly Ann Beavis. Christine Virginia Bleck. Caitlin Brianne Buno. Amanda Whitney Burns. Heather Lee Carroll. Socheta Chep Chim. Kristen Michelle Ciarletta. Elizabeth Ashley Clark. Caitlin Elizabeth Coakley. Isabel Curatolo. Danielle Gail Dickey. Amy Carol DeMeo. Christy Ellen Domenico. Kirsten Ann Dobroth. Jillian Claire Eileen Donaher. Ashley Nicole Draper. Chelsea Elizabeth Frazier. Brianna Lynn Fumia. Elise Marie Gallagher. Melissa Ann Gentile. Jody Lee Gurman. Caitlin Christine Giunta. Allison Johanna Goodman. Amanda Victoria Graziano. Courtney Ann Heffernan. Allison Marie Hollowell. Kristen Ann Jasinski. Tina Kamal Jumani. Christian Megan Kennison. Nida Shafiq Khan. Lydia Sophia Kaur. Sarah Elizabeth Kolba. Michelle Christine Lee. Gloria Ching Yun Lin. Kimberly Rose Lord. Megan Allison Mahoney. Julie Maureen Mangan. Jacqueline Alcee Matthews. Megan Ann McLaughlin. Catherine Lee Mines. Melissa Minutolo. Nicole Amanda Morehouse. Wafa Ijaz Muhammad. Alexandra Colleen Murphy. Ashley Marie Oley. Emily Ruth Pease. Elizabeth Ann Pizarek. Catherine Ann Powers. Ashley Elizabeth Reed. Lindsay Lee Richards. Allison Sophia Rogers. Tiffany Victoria Schlosser. Laura Elizabeth Scott. Swetha Raj Shanbag. Ashley Marie Silva. Holly Danielle Simard. Elizabeth Amelia Stakovich. Alexandra Stanimarova Stankova. Abby Lynn Thatcher. Stacy Elizabeth Traeger. Jerry Wainaina. Jessica Lynn Wazak. Stephanie Ann Whippen. Jessica Marie Willoughby. Sarah Jane Afshar. Jenna Dawn Antonelli. Nicole Marie Bates. Katie Merritt Belanger. Felicia Nancy Bonney. Hillary Jane Bonapane. Rebecca Josephine Bonapane. Melissa Jean Burt. Jennifer Elizabeth Byrne. Brianne Teresa Campbell. Jennifer Catherine Carboni. Hoen Chow. Stephanie Elizabeth Clapp. Jacqueline Marie Coleman. Sarah Marie Coulomb. Erin Elizabeth Crafts. Lee Nicole Zernicki. Nicole Lee Deshane. Courtney Lee Desjardins. Sarah Therese Dion. Tracy Sarah Donahue. Kelly Marie Dowd. Danielle Ray Ducharme. Cassandra Elizabeth Ali. Kelly Marie Forsyth. Corey Lynn Gagnon. Emily Spence Gordon. Emily Ann Greenwood. Catherine Ann Hayden. Elizabeth Nicole House. Rachel Ann Hurd. Amanda Lee Irving. Casey Lee Johnson. Angela Celia Calagarakos. Sheila Elizabeth Kane. Amanda Marie Kinney. Christina Dong Ni Lee. Amy Ting Lin. Tiffany Hao Liu. Cassie Lee McKinnon. Rachel Elizabeth Martin. Sheena Jean Miller. Jessica Megan Miskell. Asia Marie Mockerman. Catherine Ann Monter. Sarah Jean Mora. Shilpa Mukunda. Elizabeth Lynn Palumbo. Kim Min Pho. Kathleen Hayes Pinder. Gauravi Gajanan Prabhu. Annabella Sheena Pyram. Jillian Sujin Randolph. Jennifer Caitlin Reed. Ashley Elizabeth Rick. Rochelle Marie Roberts. Bonnie Lee Robinson. Catherine Amy Russos. Brittany Lee Ryan. Lauren Elizabeth Scarber. Chelsea Lynn Shield. Corey Ann Cheeseby. Jennifer Ann Smith. Christy Nicole Smokler. Erica Spurrier. Scotland Holmes Sullivan. Jenna Marie Swenson. Kaylee Jean Taylor. Kerry Ann Taylor. Paulina Nguyen Tran. Jennifer Ann Twitchell. Emily Howe Tyrell. Julie Ann Vaccaro. Allison Marie Walsh. Carolyn May Wilson. D. Yu. Ashley Marie Barger. Catherine Bellingieri. Stephanie Ann Boisvert. Melanie Wendy Bresnick. Dana Joyce Brown. Kimberly Robin Butler. Tiffany Ewen Chow. Kristen Lee Clapper. Catherine Ann Zernicki. Laura Megan DeRoche. Tiffany Crystal Diamond. Shauna Marie DeCecca. Leslie Bailey DeCroce. Caitlin Ann Doherty. Laura Susan Dooley. Courtney Patricia Driscoll. Brittany Jasmine Fry. Amanda Rita Gagnon. Christina Elizabeth Gagnon. Amanda Kate Genevizian. Anna Parrish Graves. Ashley Allen Hansberry. Stephanie Cole Harrison. Karen Linnea Janot. Erin Jeanette Kelly. Tina Kim. Amy Lee Kirkland. Krista Helen Colley. Alexandra Catherine Lambert. Ashley Michelle Lamplow. Renata Beverly Levitt. Amanda Lorraine Liedberg. Candace May Lillis. Morgan Aurora Lindemeyer. Emily Brianne Labeo. Talisa Beth Long. Amber Elizabeth MacDonald. Rachel Elizabeth Martinez. Lisa Utami Marzaman. Tina May Machurzik. Kayla Ann McElroy. Rachel Elizabeth Miller. Julie Eleanor Morris. Kathleen Tara O'Donnell. Justine Mary Ellen Ortoff. Rebecca Ellen Pattison. Kristen Elaine Proscia. Lauren Michelle Reed. Jenna Marie Reese. Jacqueline Marie Robson. Jenny Louise Schmidt. Molly Ray Shanahan. Erica Lee Squiliciati. Alexandra Kelsey Swanson. Trudy Ann Thompson. Jessica Angeline Tomas. Elena Irene Tress. Megan Elizabeth Troxel. Robin Michelle Underwood. Danielle Marie Volpe. Laura Ann Westland. Matthew Robert Arthur Ackernite. James Charles Ayan. Dustin Douglas Benoit. Daniel Frederick Bischoff. Franklin Emil Bonanno. Anthony Vincenzo Bordonaro. Andrew Carl Borodaka. John Philip Briand III. Robert Frederick Brown. Michael Joseph Butcher. Donald James Butler. Saurabh Chatterjee. Timothy Paul Cooper. James Lawrence Cody. Sergio Martin da Silva. Michael David DeCoste. Ryan John DeMatteis. David Gerald Denoyer. Ryan James Donaher. Eric Cheng J. Du. Edward Anthony Dudley. Matthew James Eckelkamp. Jeffrey D'Entremont Follier. Joshua Paul Fielding. Michael Paul Fitzpatrick. Justin Lawrence Fighton. Keegan Douglas Gallant. Robert Christopher Garahan. Justin Joseph Graham. Sean Gregory Hammond. Christopher Hall Harris. William Henry Hauser. Christopher Joseph Kang Ingram. Aaron Jeremy Lee Jones. J. Andrew Kelligrew. Eric Arthur Keir. Jeffrey Matthew King. Gregory Michael Kidd. Kevin Joseph Latina. John Francis Leary III. Keith Glenn Lazinski. Alex Martin Lawyer. Andrew Nicholas Malone. Michael Julian Marinero. Justin Michael Martell. Peter William Martell. Justin Michael McFadden. Cameron Joseph Morris. Adam Peter Morissette. John Fitzgerald Mulhern. Christopher Patrick Normandin. Christopher David O'Neill. Mark Anthony Omobono. Justin David Palmer. Edward Jonathan Pilarski. Edward Louis Pilkowski. Jeffrey David Raymond. Samuel Benjamin Reynolds. Ryan Richard Robarge. Eric David Rummel. Michael Joseph Russo. Ryan Christopher Sargent. Imad Pasha Sheikh. Andrew Justin Surrey. Michael Paul Sweeney. Kevin Soon Tan. John William Tedder. Peter Thomas Tracy. Brian Martin Traumuller. Robert Stephen Trindle. Shemek Jan Urbovich. Benjamin Thomas Waters. Daniel Kirsten Weiss. David Samuel Wilson. Mark Robert Zolkovich. Travis Edward Abbott. Joshua Thomas Andrews. Matthew Francis Arena. Gregory Augustus Bailey. Michael Robert Baricelli. Christopher Allen Brown. Brian Richard Callery. David John Carroll. Peter Thomas Caulfield. Joshua Russell Christian. Joshua Young Combs. Charles Matthew Cormier. Christopher James Cusson. Stephen Charles Dahlgren. Matthew Joseph Dadinsky. Daniel Joseph Desjardins. Jonathan Matthew Doherty. Brendan Ira Current Dorr. Kyle William Dunbar. Timothy Mark Ination. Justin Allen Fleck. Jeremy Robert Fraza. Scott Richard Frink. Yung Feng Fung. Brendan McCabe Gill. Scott Michael Glick. Samuel Ray Hagopian. Matthew John Hansen. Sean Patrick Herron. Peter Jared Hurwitz. Peter Kinsey Ka. Gregory Daniel Kinney. Donald August Cole. David Lawrence Lannon. Daniel Stephen Lindquist. Brandon Tyler McPherson. Daniel Payson Mandel. Lee Edward Martin. Matthew Flynn Massimino. Thomas Stephen Mayotte. Michael Patrick McSweeney. Timothy Patrick Moriarty. Paul William Musnix. Sean Eric Newcomb. Christopher Joseph O'Shea. Paul Alexander Orlinski. Benjamin Michael Peruzzi. Thomas Joseph Real III. Kyle Patrick Reardon. William Frazier Rice. Benjamin Michael Rich. Luis Alejandro Rodriguez. Zachary Yates Scott. Christopher Michael Stanwyck. Peter Morgan Story. Trevor George Sullivan. Devin Christopher Texera. Kevin Havlin Tyrell. Stephen Michael Volak. David Robert Welsh. Daniel Pine Woodward. Brandon Allen. Brian Joseph Amaral. Craig Thomas Bahia. Justin Michael Barrett. Douglas Robert Bassett. David Donald Benedict. Daryl Scott Benoit Jr. Jonathan Brian Bullock. Joseph William Burkett. Trevor Nelson Busfield. Matthew Peter Queso. Matthew Gray Castle. Sean Kenneth Coleman. Adam James Camo. Christopher James Cotty. Robert Hugo Dioria Jr. Peter Richard DeMary. Timothy Michael Dixon. Alexander Baker Dawson. Corey Patrick Duggan. John Henry Dupuis. Andrew Joseph Everley. Brennan Joseph Farley. Brian James Fielkowski. Michael Tui Gardner. Robert Paul Gill. Jeffrey Ryan Gray. Robert James Green. Dro Jonathan Gregorian. Aaron Allen Grout. Daniel Dale Henderson. Andrew Lawrence Holmes. Christopher Thomas Howard. Michael Thomas Hueris. Kevin Donald Jordan. Taylor Franklin Keefe. Michael Thomas Lane. David Blake Linstead. Matthew Davis McDonald. David Sean Mayer. Brian Anthony Malatesta. Joshua Stephen Mark. Michael Thomas Massa. Brian Francis McGinty. Michael Patrick Meyer. Michael Edward Miliski Jr. Sean Ryan Malott. Shriram Modur Mohan. Christopher James Morgan. Matthew James Myers. Kent Joseph Pescator. Andrew Alberto Pyrus. Brian Kevin Powers. Jonathan Douglas Prentice. Matthew Charles Santos. Brian John Sayers. Michael James Shea. Michael Owen Simmons. Kenneth Robert Sims. J. Edward Sturgeon. Christopher John Sullivan. James Guerin Sylvia. Robert Anthony Van Liu. Jason Gregory Velasquez. Jesse Chung Wang. Jeremy Michael Williams. Ryan James Wilson. Steve Zhu. Justin Stephen Zerbanopoulos. The president of the class of 2006, Kate Knowles.
Kate.
Class, turn tassels.